Hey guys, welcome to a new video. So today I invited the owner and founder of a very cool app used for hunting. It's a hunting journal so you can log your experiences in the field. So I'll head right over there. We can show you all how it works.
Hey, what's up, Isaac?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. I'm pumped to do this with you. You're up in Wisconsin, right? It's Wisconsin, not Minnesota, right?
Right, very
Okay.
cold here right now. Not
Yeah.
hunting season.
How cold is it though?
Um, I believe it's negative 17. Or sorry, no, it's 17. 17 degrees.
Okay,
Still
that's
cold.
17 is better than -17, but that's still quite miserable. So I
Right.
understand
Yep.
why people might not be out hunting right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I heard the intro. I've got the HuntLeague app. Super excited to start telling people about it. I know you said it's a hunting journal. Basic ideas, hunting journal that people can log everything that they encounter in the field. It's more than just like marking waypoints on a map. You get to choose your species, choose your method of take. You can enter the different weapon information. Like what type of rifle, what type of scope, cartridge, all that stuff. You can put that in. So it gives you the option to be like super detailed, but you don't really have to. It's actually super quick to like log a hunt, log an activity. You can always come back when you're done in the field and add more information later. But super sweet way to kind of keep track of stuff and actually capture the story of your hunt. Like I didn't want to just create something where it's like, yeah, I know you can drop waypoints, but what I really care about and what I want to share is not waypoints with somebody. I want to share the story of my hunt, how it happened, the timeline of when it happened, photos, videos, the whole deal. So that's really kind of the heart behind it, was being able to kind of log and share. And then, we've taken it several steps further by adding a point system with everything you log, which opens the door for there to be a leaderboard, opens the door for leagues, and there's a lot of really cool stuff going on. So excited to share that with you and your community.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks. Do you want to show everybody a tutorial of it?
Let's do it, bro. We'll jump right in.
Awesome.
So this is the home screen. This is when you jump into the app. There's a couple different things. Like a lot of hunting apps, when you just open it up, it's going to go straight to a map screen. Our Hunt League does quite a few things that are maybe a little bit unique. So I'll kind of show you a couple things on the home screen. Obviously, in the top left here, you've got a menu. You can kind of see, you can go to map, hunt logs, community leagues, leaderboard, safe, gear, tutorial, a bunch of different options there. Most of those things you can actually access from the home screen. So in this upper right corner, so I'm kind of controlling it as we go, but in this upper right corner, there's that community icon. Hit that, takes you to a community page. You can see, recent posts from folks. That's where if you wanted to join or look at any of our leagues, you can see the different leagues we have. The 2023 Outdoorsman of the Year. These leagues are big time too. Like this Outdoors of the Year sponsored by Vortex Optics. Seekins Precision is a rifle sponsor. So whoever wins this gets really, really set up with some really cool stuff. And they don't just get the stuff, they get to actually, the judges panel that actually selects the winner is made up from these different companies. So the companies are actually listening to your stories and watching the things that you guys log and then selecting the winner, which is really cool. So it's not necessarily like a traditional hunting contest or something where people think like, oh, is it the biggest buck or who kills the most or those things. It's really more of a, think of the app more as like it's a story based app. Like you're capturing the story of your hunt and you have the ability to share those stories with other folks. So, we got a spring turkey league, which I know a lot of you guys up in Wisconsin love those turkeys. In the spring turkey league, this one's just something we just started February 11th. The winner's going to get sweet new shotgun. They'll get a brand new optic from Burris Optics, custom Gobbler King like call kit, a ground blind from Hunt Fanatic. Remington is throwing in some of their TSS, which is like premium turkey shells, turkey shells. So that's kind of the league. There'll be one winner. That winner is going to be announced in June. So I know we jumped straight into that. If I go back to the home screen though, if I want to see the leaderboard and where people score, there's that little shield icon next to my profile. I just tap that. This is going to show me like who's in the lead for today, who's in the lead for the season, and then who's in the lead like lifetime rank. So you can filter that for different leagues, species, methods of take, but that's kind of your leaderboard. And again, the leagues aren't decided by the leaderboard. The leaderboard is just kind of a fun way to kind of see how your season compares to others. Um, on the home screen too, we've got these daily challenges, which is like invest, train, and shoot. That invest is like check that box if you are investing in yourself or others. You know, that's like you could be practicing your turkey calls, you could be taking an online course, you could be listening to podcasts, you could be mentoring somebody and taking them out hunting. Some people are using it for even just daily discipline things like reading your Bible, doing things that would be, again, invest in yourself, invest in others. Then you've got the train, which is your physical fitness stuff, you're running, you're lifting, all of that. And then shooting is whether it's a rifle, whether it's a bow, just getting out there and shooting. Because we believe like these three things, if you kind of keep those things up throughout the year, that those matter. So you're not actually logging a story of when you go shoot. You're just checking the box saying, yeah, I did that today. Then it comes down to these bottom three. And I know we can kind of jump into each of them, but the map, think of it, it's just your basic map. It's not like Onyx or Base Map, Go Hunt, where it's got a bunch of map layers. You've got, I'm going to go out to like, let's see, I'm just going to get it out and away. I'm going to go to Wisconsin right here. You can see I've done a little bit of hunting at the Gavin Brother Farm.
Heard about that one.
Yeah, it's pretty epic. So here you can kind of see that screen, and then if I want to switch, you've got topo and satellite. Your satellite view in this is pretty amazing. Like you can get pretty detailed and see somebody's house and somebody's driveway and all that. So sorry, whoever's house that is, for highlighting you on this video in Howard, Wisconsin. But you got maps. You can drop all sorts of pins, waypoints there. I can see what the elevation is. It's got a lot of the functions that you need. If I want to recenter and come back to my current location, when I adjust the map, I can do that. So that's your map. If I hit the go button, this is how you like start an activity. So if I'm going out on an activity and want to start a log, what do? I can hit this and I can say, all right, I'm going on a hunt. What type of hunt am I doing? Let's do. I've always wanted to do a bighorn sheep hunt, so we're going to pretend we're doing a bighorn sheep hunt. I'm going to hit this, say, all right, we're doing this one with our bow. So there I've got my bow stuff entered. Now I'm inside the hunt, and if I want to, let's say I have a sighting, I can say, all right, there's 2 rams. If I want to add a picture, video, audio note, I can do that right there. If I want to locate that animal on the map, I can say like, okay, he's right over here in this circle. Drop it. That's 0.64 miles from me. Save that, submit. It's going to take me back to this screen, but now you can see, okay, we just logged that. There's no photos or I didn't really add much info there. The other thing though that you can do, once you kind of get the hang of what all these icons are, actually the better way and the way that I use it in the field is if I swipe from right to left, it'll actually bring me onto the map screen with me kind of centered. And I'm just going to kind of a blank area on the map. But on this map screen, there's this little like icon down in the bottom right, and I can hit that, and I actually can add all my events. So I can say, all right, here's some sign, some bighorn sheep scat droppings. Save that. It's going to lock it. So it's just that fast. Like it's way faster to drop waypoints. Like some people get nervous about like, well, man, I don't want to journal everything because it's going to take me so much time in the field. But I'll just tell you, like, if you've got this tool in the field and you walk up on something like, man, I just saw, like a sighting of a bighorn sheep again. I can click this, hit the sighting button. There's a ram and let's say 5 views and submit that. That's going to give me more detail than what a lot of my other mapping things where I just drop a waypoint where you just have the icon. and you can actually do it every bit as fast. And then later, if I want to add photos or if I wanted to add a photo in the moment, I can jump in and do that. But that's kind of a little tutorial. If I'm out there and let's say I'm on that sheep hunt, but then I see another species, it would be odd to see a javelina, but we're going to throw javelina in just for fun. Are you actually hunting this? And you can say yes or no. Let's just say no.
Doesn't hurt.
I just saw it. I can say, all right, what I see, happen to see two javelinas. I submit that. So you can add species. You know, you're out there, maybe you're on that deer hunt and you see a coyote, or you're on the deer hunt and a chucker. This is getting to be a really weird hunt, Isaac.
Yeah.
um, but maybe a grouse might be more appropriate. So you can add a grouse, and you'll see like that now. Now I have options to kind of pop up and go in between the species. So I can select them from up top. You know, I can say I hit one, missed one. Um, you know, so that gives you an overview a little bit of how you would log that. Again, like now this would go into like my actual hunt logs. So this is the one that we were just making right now. And then if I want to see where all those waypoints are, I can kind of hit that red waypoint icon. I'm going to go ahead and delete this though, since it's a fake hunt.
Show
So
them a really detailed hunt, like what one would look like if you were out there for a couple hours and you were logging stuff as much as you would.
yeah. So this would be a good example of that. Like this is my son's, it says Sam's first buck. So this was a mentor hunt. I took my son, he's 14. This would be an example of what that hunt would look like. So here's the hunt started at 7:11 in the morning. We walk out, we jump in, you know, we see some tracks. That's an elk track. You can kind of see those two, like, I don't know if they call them dew claws or whatever they are, kind of off the back. So we had a good bull elk. Like, I wish I had something to show the size of that, but it was like, okay, Sam, we had an elk tag for a bull, and we had a buck tag. So we had either option that morning. So we're walking. We get up just a little ways later, and it's like we just spooked at least two elk. I walked into a spot where there was just a bunch of tracks, and I turned to my son and I was like, Sam, this just feels super elky. There's got to be an elk close by. So I grab a little cow call just to see if I could get something to talk. And I like just did a little tiny. And as soon as I did that, I bet those elk were 60 yards from me. And all of a sudden I just heard them like crashing off. They were probably looking at us. And then as soon as I did that cow call, they took off running. I was like, dang it. And I only put two. I think there was a small herd, but I only said like, sighting like two. They were
Mm-hmm.
walking a little further. We get to the place that we're trying to set up for the morning, and we glass over, and on a distant ridge, I catch some movement through my binoculars. I have a long zoom camera, so I pulled it out, and I don't know if you can hear this, but you'll actually kind of see. This is me and my son, and we're talking about, man, should we go get it? And I'm like, Sam, it's actually a pretty good bodied buck, and I could see the antlers, but you'll see here in just a second. This is really far away. So,
Oh, you're
oh,
pushing 900 yards easy.
at least, I mean, it was probably between three-quarter of a mile, maybe even over a mile. Like it was a whole valley, then on a distant ridge, and so we were. I was like, Sam, by the time we get over there, there's no way that deer is going to still be there because he's just cruising that ridge line. And I'm like, by the time we drop in the valley and get over, we're not going to be able to find it. But the day before, we had this deal where I saw an elk, a big bull. It was a big 6x6 right at first light on another ridge. And he was like, Dad, we got to go get it. And so as soon as we start kind of hiking over, I was like, man, it's far, it's deep. It's like if we shoot this elk, it's going to take us like 3 days to get it out. So I started
Yeah.
coming up with all these excuses for why we shouldn't go over there, and eventually ended up talking Sam out of chasing that bull. And I felt really bad about it because I knew that was like on me, but I also knew the logistics of that, which he would never understand until you actually get one on the ground. Um,
Hmm.
but anyway, so we start heading over because I was like, okay, we'll go for it, Sam. This is your hunt, not my hunt. You want to chase that deer? Let's go get it. So we start heading that way. As we're going over there, though, we run into another group, and we, see a buck, three does. Uh, Here, Sam takes a shot, so you can kind of see a photo of our setup. So he had just taken the shot, or right here. This was the actual shot, which I kind of tried to capture on camera. Didn't do a great job. Uh, he pulls the trigger right here. When he pulls the trigger, I was right by the muzzle brake, and it sent me flying. So you can kind of see him hopping off, and then I lose sight of it. But that was him taking the shot. Me putting some blister wool on. I start walking over to where the blood was. I was like, Sam, we got to stop. But this like woo wool stuff, if you're ever on a backcountry hunt, it looks silly. Looks like you're just putting some weird cotton ball thing on there. But that is the stuff when it comes to like blister care. Like if you
Yeah, I
put like
heard
a
it works really
band-aid,
well.
yeah, like if you put a band-aid or something else on, like it will, you end up sealing moisture and stuff like that, and you get there's more bacteria infection, there's more opportunities for that blister to like actually create problems or that blister to get larger. You put this woo wool stuff on, sticks to your sock, creates a layer, and that hot spot is like instantly gone. Wool is naturally like moisture wicking. I kind of discovered that stuff this past year. That's why I'm talking about it, because I'm like, dude, this stuff. I wish I would have been using this the last 15 years chasing elk around the mountains because it's good. Anyway,
Yeah.
this was our first drop of blood. I mean, that's a blade of grass you're seeing above it, and then you see that little tiny drop of blood in the snow, and that's what got me. And I was like, Sam, get over here, because we didn't know if he even hit it on his shot. We didn't know if it was a hit or miss. Come to find out, like, okay, he hit it. You can start seeing like, okay, the blood's picking up. This is going to be good. Um, then we start running to like, all right, we got good blood. We'll keep following, keep tracking. The blood event, by the way, is like super cool. Uh, if you're tracking an animal, like using the blood event is like I haven't really had to track and use the app for it, but like we used that on this, and it was awesome. Like, so if you're actually tracking an animal, the HuntLeague blood tool, it doesn't get better. So we end up seeing the deer. We sit down because we spooked it, and it was like, okay, it's still up, so we're just going to sit for 30 minutes. While we're sitting, we look across the canyon to where we had just come from, and we had a herd of elk across the canyon. So I'm like, okay, Sam, you got a deer that's probably going to bed up here and die. We've got these elk about 700 yards away. Do you want to go? And there's a bull in that herd. I was like, do you want to go get the bull, and we could double up and get you a bull and an elk, or a deer, a buck and a bull in the same day? And Sam was like, Dad, I don't know. I think that might be a little bit selfish. I was like, okay, bud, like we'll stay the deer. And I was proud of him for that decision. But needless to say, we kind of meandered through. So you can kind of just see now we're at noon, still tracking this deer. Um, this is a sequence where we're trying to figure out if it's this deer that we're looking at, or there was another buck just off to the left. There was about 5 or 6 deer in this one area where the deer that we were tracking kind of led us to. And it was like, I was like, Sam, don't shoot, because we don't know if that's your buck or if it's another buck, because we don't want to end up, shooting a second one. Um,
Right.
but here you can kind of see this is his buck bedded down. We kind of had it pinned down, and this is right before he takes his second shot. So we have the second shot kind of on camera here. This is him going up to the deer for the first time after it's down. Uh, you know, get hands on the deer. This is him sharing the story with me. Um, Him putting his first tag on an animal, the knife we used. This is us dragging it, dragging it down the road after we gutted it. getting it all the way into the truck, us packing our stuff out. And then that was once we got back home and we're field dressing, we actually found the second bullet tucked up in its shoulder. So we just kind of added that to the journal once we're in. So here you can actually see, like, this is what we used on the hunt. Now you get into the bottom where there's these shared options where it's like, now I can take this, and if I want, I can share this hunt with somebody, with one of my buddies. You have to be buddies with somebody in the app first. Are we buddies? We're buddies in the app, right, Isaac?
Yeah, you wanna flip over and show my screen? You can share it with me.
Let's do it.
Awesome. So this is my screen on the right.
Yep. So Isaac's on the right. I'm on the left. So if I want to share this hunt log with you, I'll go into my buddies, search your name. Here's Isaac. So I just shared, and when you share something with somebody, by default, it's always going to share without GPS information. So this would just be sharing the story of a hunt. So now, Isaac, if you go into your phone and hit the hunt log page, that shows your hunt logs right there. But if you want to
Yep.
see the ones I shared with you, swipe up at the top where it says my logs, swipe over one and you'll see shared. And then there you can see Sam's first buck. You can click on that. And it's going to take a second to kind of load. But once that loads for you, what you'll notice, there will be a big difference. Like on my screen, I've got a red waypoint icon in the upper right corner. On your screen, you don't have that icon. This is a little bit risky. I'm gonna touch this button. Hang on.
Yep.
Okay. Trying to be cautious with this. We'll switch views.
Looks like you're out in the middle of nowhere.
It is. So this, if I hit that red waypoint icon, that shows where everything happened. So like if I go, like this is where that shot occurred. This is where first blood was. This is us following that blood trail. Me saying like, man, what a cool thing that was. You can see all the places we saw a deer and get all the way to the place that we recovered Sam's deer. So everything is kind of detailed on here. If I want to click on, like if I click on this icon here, that'll show me, like, I guess what it was. That was where there was one buck, 4 does at 8:26. So that's where we saw the deer first thing in the morning, and it's actually really close to where the deer ended up dying, even though it's a different deer. But
Yeah.
that kind of
So
gives you an idea. But you don't have that right now on your screen,
right.
because I didn't share. Now back out of that, go back to your main hunt log page, and what I'm going to do is I will.
Let's
I'm going to
see. My
click,
logs.
or go to the home screen just for the sake of it. I just clicked the share thing. So now hit your hunt log page just because I want to make sure it kind of resets. Go back to the shared and now hit download. And what that will do is that will actually add all of those waypoints on
Okay.
your map.
And another thing with that blood feature, you can, if you lose the blood, you can go back and see where you last had it. Or if you have a bunch of people, you can see kind of the pattern where the deer was headed and kind of spread out that direction. Because you can look on the map, see, okay, this is where the deer's headed. It might be heading down the ravine. If you absolutely lose the blood. So it's a very good feature.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
can
So,
tell too, like, is this deer zigzagging or what other terrain features is he moving? A lot of times, a herd animal is going to move towards water or they're going to move towards, a bedding area, somewhere where they feel safe. And so you can use that as you're tracking to kind of get your bearings. And like, actually, I think this is where he's going. And once you kind of use it in the field, you're going to love it. Okay. When you look at it now, you have that red waypoint icon, and you have, my wife's calling me. She's gonna get mad about that. I'm gonna have to text her real quick. Um, but now you can actually see everything on your screen.
Yep.
So I'm gonna jump to this screen with you and me because I'm gonna text my wife real fast and just let her know uh,
Yep. No problem.
I'm on the line. But cue up your next question, um, and now I'm ready. So anything else? What else you want to cover, Isaac?
Yeah. So, just for the sake of time, I think we covered the majority of the tutorial. Um, so going over leagues.
Yeah,
So leagues are basically, I don't know if you could say clubs, kind of. It's kind of the same idea where you join and your activity in their hunting is, I don't know if you could say privately recorded. Well, like people can see what you harvest, but they can't read your logs unless you share them. But
correct.
depending on your progress, at when it comes to a certain time, there's deadlines for each league, and there are prizes given out accordingly to who won the league, who did the best, who did the most effort, and who had the best sportsmanship. Not necessarily who went out and slaughtered the most, rabbits or whatever happened,
Yeah.
but just who the judges think, who they think deserved it.
So
So,
here's kind of something that you can kind of look at and go, okay, this gives you an idea of like we can click. This isn't going to be super helpful right now, but we're actually in the process of like updating all of our leaderboard stuff with some more options to kind of sort and search. But like I can click, like I'm going to click on your cousin into the road, so it's showing that he's in fourth place right now for 2023. And this year, it's showing that he has logged 3 scouts, 5 hunts. I don't have any information based on this profile as far as like what those things are. However, I'm going to assume that he's already joined like the outdoorsman of the year. So if I go to that league, I can see some recent activity in the league. So I can go down here and I can see, okay, today Crayson McBride was out on a coyote and duck hunt. He rated the coyote hunt a 34 and the duck a 30. And those are just his arbitrary scores. That's not how many points he got. That's not anything like that. That's just his scoring because that's for his own filter options. But that just lets me know, like, okay, it probably wasn't a great day for him, coyote and duck hunting. He
right.
didn't share his log. I can't see anything there, but I can swipe over and see, all right, Cody Monzi went out and went on a goose hunt. He rated it 100, so it was probably a good goose hunt. But if he was successful or logged success, and maybe he was successful and just didn't log success, the number 100 would actually show up gold. So I can like click over. Here's another one. So Josh Dishman went out on a deer. Didn't move it up or down. 50 is kind of your baseline score. But on this one, you can see, all right, there's a photo next to it, which means he posted something to the community. And there's that little log icon, which means he actually shared his hunt log with the league. So I can click that icon and it's going to take me to that scout. And again, he shared this. He chose to share it because all your hunt logs are private. You can choose to
Mhm.
share. On the bottom, it gives you, do you want to share with a buddy? Do you want to share with a hunt party? You can only share GPS with a buddy or a hunt party. You can't share GPS with like the whole community or a league because it's not meant to be like, hey, where does everybody want to go hunt? But this was like oh, that's pretty cool. Take a look at that. That is an old shed. It's even got like moss growing up on it.
That
Um,
is pretty cool. I didn't see that.
yeah, so he shared this scout. Oh, dang. Look at that. That would have been a stud. Big old bull elk antler.
That'd be
Um,
hard to mistake for a branch or something.
yeah,
Must really been in there a while.
golly. Wherever he was at doesn't get hit very often, but a couple more elk sheds. Oh, it looks like they got burnt up, is what he was saying. What a cool day.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but that's the stuff that you can share. Like, so that's an example of, it just kind of shows what people are out doing. Then you've got some of the prizes that are actually up for stuff like Vortex does a winner's choice, Seekins Precision. You can pick one of their rifles, Outdoor Edge, Bear Archery. Um, I've got other people that I want to say. It's tricky. Oh, actually, here's one. Huxworks, like that's not even up there in an image, but Huxworks makes suppressors. So
Hmm.
they're going to throw a suppressor in for the winner next year of the Outdoorsman of the Year. So like by the time this package is said and done, it has camo or like there's a bunch of different knives, camo, everything that an outdoorsman would want. You get some really cool options in there. The Bear Archery, they're doing a winner's choice where you either get to pick one of their new compound bows or a traditional bow, which I think would be sick because maybe you already have a
Yeah.
compound bow, but you'd love to get one of their traditional bows. I'm like, oh man, so pretty
And
sweet league.
that winner's choice package, that if you win the Outdoorsman of the Year, you can pick whatever you want from Vortex Optics,
The
any one of their products,
the item of your choice.
and you can even pick a Crossfire scope if you please, or a Razor HD Gen 3, but
Yeah, you could pick across. You could pick
whatever you
those.
want.
Yeah, if you want a T-shirt from Vortex, you could get or this hat. Like it's a nice hat. So if you want this hat as the item of your choice, you can get this hat, or you can get
A
their four thousand
$4,000 scope.
dollar Gen 3 scope. Yeah, and they've
Yeah.
got it would be a tough choice, because it's like, man, do I want a new spotting scope? Do I want like one of their Fury like their new
Yeah.
Fury binoculars have applied ballistics in them, so you can actually enter your cartridge and everything. Um, Super cool stuff. So the item of your choice from Vortex, it doesn't really
That's a
get
big
better than
deal.
that.
This is the real deal. This is no joke.
Yeah, I mean, in this one, like if we just went through, just these are the leagues that I'm in. So you got the Triple Crown. That one is the first time that we have a league where you have teams. So you got a team of four. In year one, you compete as a team of four. There's a select number of teams that will advance into a year two, and then those teams get split into teams of two. Then a select group gets split. So that's actually a 3-year tournament before there's a winner. But the winner of that league is going to get a premium prize product from a whole myriad of sponsors. But you have to get entered into that before, I guess, it says it starts August 1st, but you have, I can't see it on my side. I don't remember what the actual start date is where you have to enter a team. But if you want to enter a team with your buddies, I think I found my team. Um, so teams are being built right now on behind the scenes for like that league. So I don't. Isaac, do you have a team yet? Have you started to figure out who you're gonna join that with?
Yeah, so I've been kind of in touch with the Gavin boys, who
Yep.
they're very avid outdoorsmen, and they said that I'm on a team with them, but I actually just saw this just now, so I don't know, I'll have to see what happens, but I believe I'm on a team with my own cousins, which they're very avid outdoorsmen, so I'm really excited for that. Can't wait to see what happens.
They always perform well. So that would be a huge team. I think I'm going. There's two guys from Vortex, and then the owner of Bear Hunting Magazine, and then I think that's my team. So my team of four, I've got a pretty stacked team right now. But I hear there's some Oregon boys that are starting to stack up their teams as well. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna get
This
this is
is gonna
gonna
be
get pretty
fun.
fun.
Yeah.
So that's the Triple Crown. We got a spring turkey. We got a predator hunting league. The On Point experience. Somebody's going to win a bear hunt, a filmed bear hunt in Oregon. It's going to be absolutely epic. A Western Hunt League. This one, uh, Bergara is sponsoring it with their brand new like Crest rifle. It's like a $2,000. It is unbelievable. Like it is one of the most beautiful rifles you've ever seen. So whoever wins
Yeah.
that, they're going to get that plus top it off with a brand new Razor HD 4.5 by 22. First focal plane. Scree. I don't know if you ever like Scree. A lot of folks in the West use their stuff. So this is the Western Hunt League, but they're setting you up with everything from base layers to outerwear. Mountain Tough Fitness throwing in a subscription, so you're actually prepared to go up and down the mountains out west. Climate, Work Sharp. So you got a ton of Mile High Note game calls, um, Hunt Score, ASIAC. I mean, the list goes on. So like whoever wins this league, it's pretty sick. The Blood Ties leagues, those ones I just started to go to, those are family leagues. So One of them's like a couples league, so kind of husband wife. Then you've got a generations league for like think like grandpa, father, son. Then you've got like
Yep.
an in-laws and outlaws league, which is like your cousins, uncles. You have to still be related. It's like blood ties is the name of the league, but there's three divisions. So you got the Rutfest is the couples league. Generations has to be direct lineage, so it's got to be like it could be a father and two sons, but that one you have to have 3 to 5 members. Um, the in-laws and outlaws you can have up to 8 people, and you can build additional family members. They can be married and family, that kind of thing. So those are some of the different leagues we've got. Super fun, but just a fun way to compete and connect. Find people that share your passion. In the near future, I mean, individuals can launch their own league and have a private league that's just for them and their buddies. Companies can host their own league and have a league for just their ambassadors or employees, or they can make a public league. We've got all sorts. Conservation organizations are looking at starting leagues. Local archery shops, taxidermy shops, butcher shops, those types of things. Local sporting goods stores, and you can host a league that's just for people in your area. That's invitation only, so other people can't see it. So there's a lot of
Yep.
cool things going on with leagues, but all this stuff is brand new. We just got Android up and running where they can now kind of join the leagues and do everything. So uh, Android is out. So starting really in 2023, HuntLeague is like, I know it's been out for a little bit, but more developed in iOS. But now we're on both iOS, Android. Um, we got a lot of momentum with different companies jumping in. So now it's just getting hunters and avid hunters in there, logging their stories, sharing it with other folks, and it's gonna be a ton of fun.
Awesome. So yeah, one more thing I want to cover, the messages. And so buddies, you can basically buddy, so it's kind of like friends on other social media. Um, you can send requests to people and be your buddies. So basically, it's just friending people on whatever platform that you may be familiar with. And I just sent you a message, so you can
Okay.
message your buddies. Um, let's
Yep.
see. Yep. So you can message them.
There we go. You can message inside leagues. You can message buddies. You can share information. There's a main community page where if you just want to like post something up,
And
like
this is basically like the hunting Instagram. I mean, this is really cool.
yeah, and I would say it's the Instagram Lite. Like I'm not much of a social media person, so I didn't build it like a major social media platform. I built it
Right.
like, hey, like we're not tagging people. The object of this is not to like, hey, who has the most buddies? Like nobody cares. Like nobody in this
Right.
thing. You're not
It's
trying to
all for fun.
yeah, you're not building your own platform here. If you want to build your own platform, start your own league and invite people to it and have them compete against you, share your season with them. So we have influencers that are going to start doing that, which that's great. They can use it as a tool to like share their story, but it's contained within their league. But the community page, it's like, no, like folks can share like right now, a guy Wolfgang down here, um, he just posted this up and he said, "Let's see everyone's first archery harvest." He said, "I picked up my bow March of 2019. This was his first elk." So he's just sharing this story with us. So I saw that and posted this one of my first deer, and then you get Garth, who's up in Oregon, posting this of his first elk. Here's another. It's a first deer, a doe up in Oregon. So this would be a cool first one, caribou, and you can
Yeah.
see like take a look at that shot,
Perfect shot.
like just money. So Rich actually came out and hunted with me last year in Colorado. So we'll probably get another hunt in together here sooner than later. And then this was for me today. I just went to the archery range and first time I've done 3D. Had a couple good shots and some really bad ones. So I got some
Yeah.
work to do.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, that's about the summary of the app. Just for the sake of time, we're probably gonna wrap up here. So yeah, thanks so much for showing us how to use this. Very useful app. I believe it's free to download, and if you want more of the features, it's $15 a year, or you can get a lifetime pass for I think it's around 350,
I
somewhere in
don't. I
there.
think it's like I think it's half that. Like the only place that you can actually get the lifetime pass is at huntfanatic.com. So if anybody wants to get a subscription, the best place to get it is actually at your cousin's website, like huntfanatic.com. You can buy a Hunt League subscription there. You can do it in the store, certainly, and that'll put it on like an auto renew or whatever. The secret code right now, though, is if somebody goes to our website and goes to huntleague.com and clicks create account, they can go create an account, and on that site it will let you put in a promo code. And if you put in the code family, because we're doing the blood ties leagues and stuff, we want people to be able to invite their family members. If you put in the code family, you'll get all the premium features for all of 2023 by if you go to our website and put in family. If you want to buy a lifetime pass or that type of thing, you can do that at huntfanatic.com. And I want to say it's like 100, 150. It's not 300. I know that, or 350. I don't remember what it is, but huntfanatic.com. That's the only place that you can get that. But yeah, it's free to download. The free version, you get one species, and you can't add buddies or join leagues. When you do the league pass, it opens up all your species, lets you add buddies, lets you share hunt logs, lets you join leagues. It just kind of opens up everything. The $14.99 a year, nobody's making money
Totally
on
worth
that.
it.
That that just pays for server costs and all the nonsense going into it. So if somebody wants to
Yep.
download it, if people need help, you know, they feel like, man, I can't afford $14.99 a year, then you probably can't afford a box of ammo to go hunting anyway. But if if you need some help, email me support@huntleague.com, and I'll do everything I can to help get you started. So support at huntleague.com if you need to hit me up. You can go to Hunt League on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We got some tutorial videos, some other things that might dive into some of the features a little bit more in depth, but that gives everybody kind of at least a good baseline. And if somebody really wants to study the maps, they can probably find exactly where that deer hunt happened. So we might have to do some creative editing, Isaac, to scratch out some GPS waypoints on this.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so yeah, thanks so much for coming on here and sharing that with everybody. So we'll see y'all next time.
Thanks, brother.
Yep, see ya.